Oh.
This is a did amazing piece of concept art.
Oh.
I love everything about it. Where did it come from?
I love her.
Why did this? Well, Andy Park gave us this little
Whoa!
Marvel Studios concept
man.
art. Very active on it.
Professional Marvel artists react to everything. So I called on some real Marvel artists for help. The first you've seen on this channel before. He is Marvel Senior Visual Development Artist Anthony Francisco. The second is one of the most famous concept artists in the world, bar none. He is Marvel Studios Director of Visual Development. His name is Andy Park. Professional Marvel artists react to everything. Are you allowed to talk about what you are working on currently, or any of the future projects that were announced?
Yeah, I could definitely say something. The next show is going to be this. Especially for this movie.
Hey,
Okay,
James, now you know what I go through. He doesn't follow directions.
Your own
No.
Scarlet Witch show
Okay.
coming to Disney
Oh,
Plus.
that's okay. That's okay. We'll just go by the reaction. But yeah.
Whoa! Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yes. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I
That's
do-
your work, man. That's you.
I do remember seeing
That's
this,
cool.
and I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, my art's on TV.
Vision, and we see Scarlet Witch. They're shadows.
I'm so happy you pointed that out.
Did you not notice
I
that?
didn't notice that.
You didn't hear was that he was mentioning about the shadow in the background.
Yeah,
How the
and she never noticed it.
Yeah, she never noticed it. She
I
never
know.
noticed the shadow. Right?
Oh my gosh.
How does that make you feel, right? Seeing your work there?
It's
on
pretty.
the screen?
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. You know,
Yeah.
like because that particular keyframe, I mentioned it on my Instagram, but you know, in all my 10 years at Marvel, that was probably the hardest keyframe I did, which doesn't seem like it'd be hard,
Right.
but it was so particular. The tone, the details that you see in there, the expressions, the fact that it's so normal was what made it harder. You know, like for me, it's easier to paint like action and more comic booky stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's so awesome seeing it like on Jimmy Kimmel, Elizabeth Olsen. I got to meet her a couple of times. She's a sweetheart.
Right on.
So, yeah, it's very exciting.
Oh, that's very cool. That's
Cool.
very cool. Congratulations, man.
Thanks.
That is pretty awesome.
Thanks. I was like, well, I think while I was watching that, I was like, mention me. Mention all my handles.
I have a name. I have a name.
Tell everyone to
Artist-
follow me.
Please say who the artist is.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
artist
but hey, I'm
an
still
unknown
appreciative.
Asian
Yeah.
guy.
Right. By unknown Asian guy. Okay, so here's another one. Okay, it's not like that, but nice to see your reaction. All right. But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The Disney Plus trailer.
Yep. Disney Plus trailer. Yeah.
So exciting.
That's right.
This whole Disney
Really
Plus
cool.
thing is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys are in for a treat. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. I'm telling you. Like
I love working
you
on
yeah, go
WandaVision. That was that was awesome.
Are you allowed to say you worked on it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
we're allowed
allowed
to say
you
that.
worked
It's
on
out
it.
already. So yeah, we're allowed to say.
Right
Uh,
on, right on. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like there's some really, like really.
You guys
good
have-
for the trailer. Really.
You guys have
interesting.
seen our films for the past 10 years. You know, now that we're venturing into long form storytelling.
Mhm.
And you know, you guys have all been watching the streaming shows on Netflix and everything. And what's great about it is that you can really get invested in hours and hours of getting to know these characters versus just like a 2-hour movie.
Right.
So we're able to venture into new territory with WandaVision, Loki, Falcon Winter Soldier. So in particular, like the one that I led on the VizDev team was WandaVision.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
this one, oh my gosh, I am so excited for this one. I can't
Yeah.
say details, but it is
Yeah.
gonna be good. It is gonna be good.
I mean, you could kind of see it in the trailers, kind of, right?
It's so different.
When
It's so
It's
different.
very different,
Yeah.
right? That's the thing,
Yeah.
and that's
So-
one thing I love that you guys are doing, and what Kevin's doing with everything is like, it's not all the same things over and over again. He's always trying to
Yeah.
find ways to tell the stories and finding different.
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly,
Like this is so
exactly.
different than what we've seen.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that's what Disney Plus gives us, that opportunity. So
Right on.
it's gonna be great. I hope.
And how all the comic book fans are trying to trying to figure out what's going on, right? Like
Right, frame-
sometimes you're
frame by frame. They're going frame by
Yeah,
frame.
I
What's that in the
know, I
corner?
know.
What's this? With this little
Yeah.
thing here over there? That's a sign.
Do you guys know if there's going to be books that have the art that you guys have done for these shows as well?
I don't think we can officially say.
We want there to be some because we want to share our art.
Right.
So
Yeah, those art
so-
books are always great. Like
Mhm.
to kind of reminisce and see like the whole process and behind the scenes and stuff that didn't make it into the film.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
because if we could only show the stuff that made it into the film, it would be such a small amount of stuff we can show.
Right on.
We've
For
done
sure.
like
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of designs and versions that didn't make it.
yeah. It would be nice for the fans to take a look at the art book so they could see the full process or where things started, where we started designing the stuff, and where what the pilot plan is and who's next in line to be finishing it and the amazing final of the full movie. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah, and the other thing that
team
I think
effort.
most people don't do is, if it's not just a visual thing, but they actually interview us in those art books. So all those words that you see in the art of book that probably most people don't look at.
People skip over.
but for those that are actually interested, you can get really in deep into figuring out what the thought process was.
Mhm.
Yes.
Inside little scoops. I get to do an afterword at the end of the book for the books that for the movies I lead. So I talk about my journey leading the film and the people that I got to have the journey with. So for the people that are interested, you can really dig deep.
I think it was Ant-Man that was like a heartfelt one.
Did you read that? Nice.
I read them. James knows. I read
Yes.
these. I read
Oh,
them.
nice. I was about to give a spoiler, but as I write, a lot of times, especially the after, because we're spending like 6 months to a year working on these films, so intimately, and then I get to lead amazing people and different artists, and I get to work with the costume designer, director. It's such a big journey, right? And then going to fittings with the actor, all this stuff. So when we do the art book, it's almost like I get to revisit that journey. Then as I write the afterword, it brings back a lot of memories, and like I'm trying to remember what was this journey, because by that time I'm already working on the next film, so I had to go back and like look at the old stuff and be like, oh wow, like what an awesome time, or what a struggle that was, or what a fun time this was. So yeah, it's worth. I think it's worth the time to read it. So thanks.
Yeah,
Mark.
and most people don't know when. Oftentimes we even start the projects before production even starts, right? Andy, like we'd be they'll be developing the script still, and we're already designing the characters. Sometimes before the director or the costume designers even hired, and we're already starting with the costumes. And in the books, you'll be able to read that. Like some of you won't know that when Andy was designing like Hella, how much designs he had to put in there to figure out the horn shapes, the horn sizes. Remember that, Andy? You're really going
so
into
much.
that.
6 months,
Yeah.
6 months worth of work just on one character.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How much
Yeah,
is still left out from the content that's in the books then? From what you guys
I
are
see.
saying, like I'd imagine, yeah, you get a lot more stuff in terms of the concept and the progress, but how much is like still left out?
I think we try to put in as much as we can, but there's always it depends on, because for every movie there's always like that one or two characters that are just like really difficult to get approved. So and then multiple people are working on trying to get that approval. So inevitably, like that one, like for example, Thor: The Dark World. Like between myself, Charlie Wen, and Justin Sweet, we spent 6 months trying to get the look of those dark elves. So we did about like 300 plus designs. We can't put 300 plus designs into the art book, because then it would be called, just the Dark Elves and Thor: The Dark World, art of book. So in the book, you probably saw maybe like a dozen or two, So that's one example, but that doesn't happen every single time. So every book, every movie, art of book, you don't get to see everything we've done, but we do try to put in, as much as we can. But yeah, it is sad when we can't, you can't see that stuff. There's definitely stuff that I have and Anthony has that we've never shown, stuff that I've done in Avengers that I don't know if I could ever show, the first Avengers, like characters that were almost in a movie, that wasn't in the movie, so we definitely can't put it in the art book.
Like the
Don't say who it is, Anthony.
I'm gonna leave that up.
No, I just said you can say it's just like Dr. Strange has a lot of designs, you know, that is not in the art books and stuff.
That's
like
so
that.
cool, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe one day they'll do like all the behind the scene, like the stuff that didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
The actors who
positive.
could have been.
Yeah. Oh, that one I don't think we could ever do.
Oh, that one you can't reveal that.
No, 'cause that
on Amazon.
Yeah.
Well, that happens too. A lot of times what Anthony's saying is, you know, a lot of times we'll do likenesses of particular actors that are almost gonna get the part. So, you know, we'll do paintings of that actor in that role. We definitely won't say which actors. So through the years, yeah, there are stuff that we've done where like, oh, that could have been this person.
Right, yeah.
But we can never show that stuff.
You know, I was just thinking, speaking of, you know, we were talking about Ant-Man. I think it's on Ant-Man and the Wasp where they have a little featurette on us. You know, which I wish we were able to share that. But if you get the DVD or the video, you'll find the featurette, and they talk about some of the other stuff we do and our roles in the MCU and designing the main characters and heroes and villains.
That's awesome.
That's
You
great.
know, so that's
awesome.
something
That's great.
I should could show.
Okay.
But yeah, Andy, you have so much stories.
That's good. We're gonna
I
need
know.
another hour here, guys.
I know.
Okay. Before we continue on this thing, let me just get this out of the way.
Oh.
This is a gifted, amazing piece of concept art.
Oh.
I love everything about it. Where did it come
I love
from?
her.
Why did this drop at the D23 Disney Plus panel on Friday? Well, Andy Park gave us this little
Whoa!
Marvel Studios concept
man.
art. He's very active on Twitter. I'm sure you've likely
What'd
come
she say?
across his tweet. And he had his own little panel
wow.
today at D23. And
Oh, she was
I think his panels are going to be super crowded from now on if he keeps dropping beauties like this. He also gave out, I think it was I'm not sure if the Falcon and Winter Soldier poster came from him, but the Black Widow one did today. Again, I'm impressed that Kevin Feige would allow Andy Park to drop this stuff. They must really love working with him and respect him to give him. I think it's nice, actually. But I would love if all this stuff came out together so I could make a full WandaVision video. And if you want the details on that we learned about WandaVision on Friday, there's a link down below in the comment section. I'll pin it to the top where I go over what we learned. But let's talk about this.
Man.
Now, it is Super Dick Van Dyke, which, of course, is the sitcom that was spliced
Very good.
into the footage that was apparently shown to the audience exclusively at the panel on Friday. And then also, everyone loves this, and a cropped version made it out earlier today. But this is the wide version that Andy Park himself shared online. And you can see that both the costumed real-life versions of Vision and Wanda are in the corner. That's great. And of course, everyone is geeking out about
Good
the
eye.
headpiece you can clearly see on Wanda. You also seem to see a bit of a cape on her as well. I would love for her to finally upgrade her costume. No complaints about the costume she's been wearing so far. It's fine, but I really would like to see this. I would love to see her truly become the Scarlet Witch and to don the headpiece and the cape. I mean, it did wonders for Kate Blanchett's Hela, right? And I think it would do a lot to establish Wanda's self-confidence, but also that she sets herself apart from everyone else and plays by her own rules, right? She's like, I'm gonna glam it up.
I've never seen
I'm gonna
this.
go all Anna Wintour here. Well, the rest of you, this is more of a military choice, right? That's the way the costumes usually go. I think Hela would actually be a really good example for how this should look. Oh, I'm so excited. So Scarlet Witch.
Me too.
Indeed. I wonder how they'll work that into that's the moniker that she takes on. Will she give it to herself? Will someone else give it to her? I think it's fabulous. This show can't get here soon enough. So what do you think? Gush down below. I'm sure you only could possibly have good things to say about this.
Oh man, I love seeing these reactions. I guess she was there, D23. That's when.
Was there? Yeah.
That's when I went on stage and in front of the audience, and we revealed that poster, and I signed that poster. It was a giveaway.
Really?
I remember right before I got onto the stage, because that's when it would be revealed for the first time. That's when I tweeted it.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, I love watching these kind of like reaction videos to our stuff or our posters, and that happens a lot of times at Comic-Con too, where we'll do like the initial posters. We've done that through the years, from starting with the Avengers, and then me, Charlie, and Ryan, we did that. I think there were 7 posters that all connected. And that was the first time you ever saw what each character is going to look like.
Right.
So a lot of times the posters are the first reveal of what this new show or movie, for example, this one, right? So it's really cool to see, you know, and you know, she paid a lot of attention to a lot of little details. I always wondered about the shadow, like, you know, that was in there, but you know, obviously, I know some people would pick up on it, but people picked up on that like right away. Oh my God!
Yeah,
look at those silhouettes. So
it's pretty clear.
Yeah, I dude, I wish I can say, and once the show comes out, and I'd love to talk about, you know, my everything that I went into it and the thoughts. And
I get the exclusive. I get the exclusive.
Sure.
We get the exclusive. We get the exclusive. Or either your YouTube channel or my YouTube channel. Actually, you should get the exclusive. Yours. You get the exclusive.
Or we can do a joint thing.
Sounds good. That's a deal. Okay.
Awesome.
Multiple faces.
Oh, and they time it all. I get it. That's cool. Look at con man's eyes.
Oh, a girl crying in the corner.
Yeah.
She's crying already.
Which one? Oh yeah.
This is post Infinity War, so man.
The guy on top of the girl that's crying, he's just really like focused.
Yeah.
I know people just love the logo.
Just like, just the sound.
I know. That's all you need. They didn't even give you much in that trailer.
They gave us not a lot at all.
Yeah.
Not a lot at all.
Well, because that was the hardest one of all our films we've ever done, for them to figure out how to do a trailer.
Right.
Because how do you do a trailer? Yeah. That one's a hard one because like they can't give you much. And they're riding off the emotion and what happened at the end of Infinity War. So people are just like emotional.
Everyone did go crazy when they saw the Ronin version of Hawkeye, though. Like, that was across the screen.
Yeah. I think Marvel just was able to do such an unprecedented thing with all the movies right together, and everyone just cares about the characters already. You show a little bit of trailer, and everyone's going crazy, you know?
Hey, that's Tyrone there. Tyrone's there in the corner. Oh, that's Grace down there too. This is the one who wears.
Is that her?
That's her. That she's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like Grace.
You say nice things about me. I like you.
She gave me props. She said my name. Did you guys all watch it opening day or opening night?
I was. I was lucky enough. Disney invited me to the Canadian premiere, so I got to see that.
Oh, nice.
But
wait, which one? Which premiere?
The Canadian premiere.
Canadian. Awesome.
Yeah, so that was nice of them.
Awesome. That's
it was
cool.
just the day earlier.
Yeah, you're part of the family.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Though the biggest celebrity we had there was a guy from the Bare Naked Ladies. It's definitely not as big as your premiere.
Oh man.
Look at Grace. She's into it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
She's picking up on every little Easter egg that's in there.
They're all analyzing, looking at every little dot.
Yeah. And then afterwards they go frame by frame.
Yeah.
Sometimes what you see in the trailer is different than what you see in the final cut, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's final VFX or different decisions. That theme song now. You just hear that theme song. We can't really hear. Oh, it's kind of
the third guy from the top.
I do have a question for you guys, and related. I'm not sure how much you're allowed to say, because I know that they didn't film that walking scene. I know the suits weren't designed yet, right? The actual suits. Did you guys? Who designed those suits, by the way? Who was the mastermind?
That was a combination. Ryan led that film, but it's between him, Alexi Bricklot, and Wes Burt. I think I'm right. Yeah.
Yeah. Wes. Yeah.
But yeah, it was one that was very difficult to find the design. So it got past the point of like filming, and then they knew they were gonna do those digitally. and
Right.
VFX.
But everyone else had a chance on it too. Even Ian joined.
Yeah,
did some.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
like I mentioned, right? Every film, like there's always that one, at least one, where it's like impossible, or just
Yeah.
And there's always different reasons. Sometimes like the director doesn't know what they want. Sometimes story hasn't been fully fleshed out, so they don't know exactly what kind of concept they need.
Right.
Other times it's like they just haven't seen the visual from us yet, or whatever. But yeah,
It's like sometimes like all hands on deck. Oh man, we need to everyone
Yeah.
work on it because it's so important. We need this done because time is of
yeah.
the essence. It's like
Right.
well, you gotta
Absolutely.
do this.
Because I think for any character that you see on screen, at least 3-4 people have been have done passes on it, multiple passes, and then it gets whittled down to that one person who does the final design. But for certain ones where it's very difficult, sometimes like Anthony says, all hands on deck. So then at that point we'll have like 10 people, up to 10 people on it,
Right.
all take their pass at it because we just need more versions, more
Right.
voices.
Yeah, and what's nice with the group of artists that we usually get on board is everyone has very clear design aesthetic. So then you kind of get like that shotgun kind of different directions all at once, so that they could choose from something. Because if you just keep it to 2 artists, and if it's not the artist who's already working on that character, it will be kind of the same thing over and over again. Not exactly the same thing, but it's easier if you get multiple voices on it.
Because I think that was one that you always see. You see the behind the scenes, and they're all wearing different outfits, right? And everyone's like, why didn't they just make the outfits practical? You always get stuff like that.
Yeah, there's man working here. There's so many things where obviously because of how big these films are, and then we, Anthony and myself, we have our YouTube, we have our Instagram. When we post stuff, like I'll get comments all the time. There's always those kind of questions like, why doesn't it look like this, or why isn't that? Or there's a lot of like people who like it, but the hard ones are like when there's a spy shot, when they're started filming and then some paparazzi takes a photo and it's not in the right lighting context. I remember that happened with Captain Marvel, and then
That was,
and it goes online, it goes viral, and then people are complaining like, why is she green and why is this blah blah blah, and you're like,
doesn't the artist know the color?
I know, and I obviously I have to hold my tongue. I can't say anything, but I'm like, there's a reason, but just wait.
Trust.
But that's what the internet does, You gotta love it.
Yeah, that's the internet. That's what it all
Come on,
comes down
true
to.
believers,
They
just
say-
believe.
Yeah, the good thing is they say these things because they care. If they didn't say anything, that's when we have to worry. When they're like, I don't care, whatever.
Right.
What-
Yeah.
Wasn't there one, Andy, that even did like a Photoshop on it and turned it red?
Oh, of course,
And-
of
and
course.
blue,
right.
yeah,
They
it's
say
like,
that
this
this is
is
how
how
it
it's
should
done.
look.
This
and,
is how it should look,
you
and
know.
everyone's like, yes, that's the one.
Yes,
And
that's
you're
it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should be hired instead of
yeah.
I know.
You get that.
again understandable.
Totally,
No.
you got it. Yeah. It's a fun thing, but you kind of have to have a thick skin too, because obviously there's always you can't please everyone, but I think overall, it's been had a pretty good track record as far as like making people happy. And for me, and I know Anthony does the same thing. When we design stuff, I'm always thinking about three essentially groups of people. One, I think about the director or directors. Two, I think about like Kevin Feige and the leadership of Marvel, the producers. And 3, I think about the fans, right? So I'm trying to like, bridge all that and try to make everyone happy, which, sometimes it's easier than or harder than other times, because sometimes you'll get direction that is not necessarily, what another group might like. So it's a juggling act, but that's the job of a concept artist. We're there to serve. We're not just like Anthony's not just like doing designs and not listening to anyone. Just like, I just want to do this and take it.
Well, it does help that
we take direction.
it does help that me and Andy are already like fans of Marvel ever since we were younger. So we almost know that this is what I think fans would like, because this is what I would have liked when I was a fan. And then you filter that through the lens of the director and of course Kevin Feige, because so far they're able to take all the stories and mix it cohesively in the MCU, and it's almost like a new way of having a comic book crossovers and stuff. Like now Disney Plus, it's almost like this is comic book world already. You know, you can just do so much, and we need more artists to do the art for it, I guess. Eventually.
But a question: you were talking about Kevin Feige, like Andy. How much? How does that process begin? Like, how's his involvement when it comes to like making all these designs? You know, when compared to the directors, like how does Kevin come in to where you guys get started?
Well, he is the captain, you know, overall overseeing everything, right? So it begins and ends with him. But of course, you know, for every film that we do, you know, we have pretty much a meeting once a week or every other week. And then I'll take all the art that I did, that all the other artists have done, that are working for this film, and I'll bring it into a presentation, into a room filled with 20 people, all the other heads of every department, from the VFX to the costumes to the art department to, you know, they're all there. It's very intimidating, very scary. And then on a screen, you know, I'll go through every piece that we've done, talking about what we did. So pretty much they're open to say whatever they want. So Kevin's there, you know, Victoria, Alonso, and Lou D'Esposito, the director, and pretty much it becomes a discussion. You know, the director will say his comments or what he's looking to do, and it'll be a lot of just like back and forth. And Kevin will say, "Oh, that's cool," because you know he's so versed with the comic book world that that's what's great about working for Marvel Studios, because he's a fan too. So a lot of times one person might say, "Oh, that looks weird. You know, why would that character wear that?" And then, you know, then you'll hear like Kevin say, "Oh, because he wore it in the comics." You know, and obviously, as you and I know, like in the comics, they don't always wear what's practical. Right. You know, they wear things because it's cool looking, whatever. It's iconic. So there's a lot of that back and forth. So at the end of the day, we need to get approval from Kevin, the leadership, and the director. For both. Yeah.
That's very cool. It's really nice seeing the behind the scenes workings.
Yeah.
With you
and
guys,
if it weren't like for Kevin loving comic books, I think, you know, because being illustrators and concept artists, if he didn't love that kind of feel and look, I think maybe our department wouldn't be there. Then it would be more of what you see in regular, you know, special effects shops or films, where the way it's usually done more very photoreal. I mean, our stuff is pretty realistic too, but it has that illustrative, you know, quality that's more like a comic book and stuff. And I think because of Kevin, and that's why it looks like that. And the credit they give you, that's, you know, I love working at Marvel, because when you get to work on a character, you get to, you know, kind of have more ownership in the design of it, you know. And even the art books, when they show the art books and they put our names beside the artwork, sometimes, I mean, I've worked in other places before, and sometimes in the art book they don't even put your name on there. Right. So that's almost like the beginnings of, oh, I love this environment already, you know. Yeah,
and you can already see like Kevin's love for the actual concept art itself. The fact that they actually put it in the Marvel logo, you know that they actually made it part of it.
Exactly.
That shows a lot. That definitely shows a lot.
So
that one's probably the biggest honor, because I mean basically they're showing. And that is pure Kevin. You hit the nail on the head, James, because you know the honor starts off with the comic books. Like scroll in, you see it's in close-ups of like different comic book art and the script, and then it goes to the scripts. You see some words, and then it goes to our concept art that we do, and then it goes to like the real actors, which encompasses every other department, from costume department to VFX, art department. So editing and all that. So it is basically a story of how did these movies get made. Starts from Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and then it goes all the way to the theaters. You know. Right. So that's testament to Kevin right there.
When they have us do keyframes, and you're able to actually influence the story, you know, I mean, that's another thing that's awesome. That is surprising. You know, like remember for Ant-Man. The first Ant-Man with the suitcase fight, remember that? And I was like, I don't know, is this true? Am I trying to figure this out? Because I've never done, I've never heard of a place that would allow, you know, that to happen. So it's like the choreography within that suitcase and the phone being there, and I had to like put everything in there, and the only description I got was suitcase fight. They're inside the suitcase. I was like, oh
And
man.
Didn't you also do the ant feeding the water? I mean, Ant-Man feeding the water.
Yeah.
They didn't. No one told you to do that. You just came up with that idea, and then it got made into the movie, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Cool.
Like they didn't know. Oh, sugar water is something that ants would like, and if we were treating the ant like a pet, then you give them a treat. And I did that painting where showing the sugar water, and and then they wrote that into the script, which is awesome. I think Andy has another one for Ant-Man the Wasp.
But what's great is because we get to interact directly. I'm directly interacting with Peyton Reed, the directors, and all the other departments. So he was very receptive to just whenever a new script, because there's so many versions of the script, he would actually ask me like, "Hey Andy, what did you think?" And I think he asked me not only, obviously there has to be a respect, but I think he also knew because I'm a comic book fan. That I used to love reading Marvel comic books, so I'm more familiar with the material. So, and I gave him some, feedback on what I thought and about, like, I felt like there needed to be some kind of like stronger villain, that kind of thing. And the conversation I had with this another guy at Marvel, Will,
another friend of ours,
Will.
Will.
Will. And I was talking to him about it because he read the script and he mentioned the Ghost character from the comic books, and I remember when I read Iron Man back in the day that Ghost was one of his villains. And then when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is perfect, because Ghost is another way of doing stealth, but not in that same the shrinking way, so it's not the exact same. So I went and basically pitched it to Peyton, and he immediately loved it. He wasn't familiar with Ghost, but he started like looking up on his computer right in front of me, and then he loved it, and he said he's going to talk to the producer. The very next day I heard from the producer that Ghost is going to be like the main villain. So I was like, oh yeah, awesome. Wow, that's cool.
Really cool. So our department does more than just do the art and costumes. We actually get to affect the script and give ideas. Even in Doctor Strange, the way the magic would be, it was our department that was trying to figure out how magic would look like and make sure it looks different than how the cosmos would look like in Guardians of the Galaxy. So
when we watched, this is the Ant-Man reaction.
Oh, Ant-Man. No one knew what to expect on this film.
yeah, for sure.
No one, including us.
The costume Andy did for this is my son's favorite costume. Man,
you have a very good son. He's a good boy.
The girl in the right corner, she's just like, oh my god. What? I know I'm supposed to be watching the people's reaction.
I know, I'm watching the trailer. Me too. I was like, oh shoot, I need to look at the people.
I gotta look.
Because this is bringing me back. I haven't seen this trailer in so long. Oh, I love this ending.
Yeah, the best.
Does it have the train? Does it end with a little train?
Look at that guy in the upper right. His mouth is just like.
Oh, this is great.
Great reaction.
Yeah, I think that one surprised everyone. That was the one film that I remember me and Rodney talking about, like, oh man, this is gonna be our first bomb. Like before the movie came out, because the whole idea of Ant-Man is ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember when I watched the film for the first time in the premiere, I was like, oh my gosh, that was amazing.
No, it was great.
It surprised everyone.
Absolutely.
Wasn't that the idea too with Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh my god.
we think
I'm not sure how this is gonna be.
Always the next film is gonna be our first flop,
For me though, with Guardians, I knew. I mean, when I read that script, that was the first show I worked on, and when I was reading the script, I was like, wow, this is really emotional. Is this really emotional? Because I was doing the scene where Baby Groot, Big Groot kind of does the spoilers. Everyone out there, you better
it's old. It's okay. We've all seen it. It's all right.
Where he dies.
And I was drawing it. I was like, what? They're gonna kill this guy already?
You're there crying, drawing the princess.
Because I didn't know. I didn't know about the end tag yet with Baby Groot.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that when I was doing this.
Talk over it actually helped.
How about this one?
Oh, the first one I led, yeah.
Yeah. Memories.
Wow. Oh, there's Anthony's obelisk. He designed that creature.
I remember Anthony going, "All right, Anthony, I've got something for you. Here, the obelisk. Like, you gotta design this thing." It's like,
Yeah, because Anthony at the core is a creature character artist,
right.
you know.
So this one here, right?
that's the one. Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It's nasty.
it's nasty.
That's
And I
too
think I
many
have-
teeth.
What was the nickname, Andy? They gave it. They gave it a nickname when they saw it.
Oh shoot, I don't remember.
I think
And then there's your baby. You designed him too.
my baby.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna be the star. Reading the script, I was like, oh, Baby Groot's gonna be the star.
Man, Andy called me. I think I was on vacation because it was like it almost feels like you're crunching, right? Because there's like 2 movies at the same time or something. And he called me up, and he had to call me. Said I had to call you because I have to tell you that they liked your Baby Groot. I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, this was fun. This was a new experience for me because leading, from going from just a concept artist to leading the team. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's really fun just seeing like the different artists. Like Rodney designed those what do you call those? Those jetpacks, the ones that they all wear.
Right. Yeah.
And,
That looks awesome.
just seeing everybody's what Andy mentioned early on. That everyone has their skill sets and everyone contributing in different ways. Right. So there's a different pride that I had going into this film versus all the previous films where I was just a concept artist, and I could be like proud of the team, that we made something cool.
Yeah,
Mantis.
that was Andy's design, Mantis.
Oh yeah, you designed Mantis, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Asian represent.
Yeah, Dave is part Filipino, right? So
he's half Filipino.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh dang.
Oh yeah.
You're trying to get us emotional.
We're good emotional. Good emotional.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Emotional,
This was a special film. This is one that Ryan led.
Was that
No,
Ryan?
I got to design T'Chaka. So
T'Chaka? Oh, right on.
In the beginning of the film, you see him, and I did contribute to Black Panther's look for Civil War, but Ryan was the one who did the final design. And there's Anthony Zakoye's.
Yes, the Dormelage, right? Dormelage.
Yeah. Dormelage. And then Adi Granov did the new Black Panther design. That's Ryan's old one.
It's Adi. Rodney did the
Rodney's design, and then Tully Summers' mask. We're just gonna credit who did what in this trip. That's our reaction.
Yeah, sounds good. People don't know. Please do.
Phil Bate worked on that.
Yeah.
Especially on Shuri's other costumes, Phil. Even his hairstyle. We also did some passes on Claw's, how his arm works. I think Rodney's the one who got the final design.
Killmonger by Josh Nizzi, right?
Josh Nizzi, did he
Adam
do
Ross.
Oh, he did, eh?
And Adam Ross, yeah.
This is one of those films. I mean, a lot of them are like that, but this one in particular, you go into it knowing, it has the potential to be something so special, and then as you're working on it, and then once it, coming closer to release, you knew this was going to be something special.
I mean,
and I remember going to the premiere because we've been to many premieres. That premiere was unlike any other premiere I've ever been to. The excitement, the energy. Every celebrity wanted to be there. It was one of those you have to be there kind of premieres.
You see the Dora Milaje walking around in their costume, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then you got the drummer.
Yeah.
And then,
really?
And then all the celebrities dressed in African garb, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
The visuals and
Right
it's so exciting. And then I remember watching the film with all the stars, and they've never been so rowdy as that one. Even compared to Avengers and stuff, I think Black Panther was the most the crowd was really reactive and
in
rowdy.
awe.
Yeah, it was awesome. So it was so sad when obviously Chadwick and everything is such a loss.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, you did you meet him? Have you met him?
I met him. I met him.
I wasn't there.
I know, because for speaking of our art books that we do, we usually do like a signing on the opening weekend at the ArcLight in Hollywood, and we did one for Black Panther, and then usually a lot of times during that time, the producers and the stars will sometimes go around to different theaters, surprise people. So they came by, they saw us at the signing, and we got to that's when I got to meet Chadwick, take a picture with him.
Oh,
The directors were there, or director Coogler, Ryan Coogler was there, and Kevin Feige, and I know that was the one that Anthony wasn't there for some reason.
Oh man, I was like, but at least in the pre-Oscar party, I got to meet not Chadwick, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, was there, and Denai was there. Yeah, they're also so nice. Yeah, we got to meet them.
Yeah, we get fun opportunities to experience these things, with the actors and the premiere signings. So we really get to celebrate these movies with Marvel Studios. So it is a unique department in the industry, because this kind of department doesn't exist.
Right.
But but it just makes it more special for us, because we've become like a family. I don't know if you can tell the rapport and everything. Yeah. Me and Anthony, but we've all worked with
we've known each other for so long now. I got to meet Vin Diesel. I got to talk to him a little bit.
Voice of Baby Groot.
Okay, we had so much fun learning from Anthony and Andy. So thank you guys for once again joining us today. And if you have any suggestions on what you think we should react to, we would love to hear them. Let us know in the comments down below, and we would love to know your suggestions, and maybe we'll even take your suggestions in the next episode of Marvel Artists React. Where can they find you online, Anthony?
If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you could find me on Anthony_Francisco_art, and on YouTube I have you can search me under Anthony Francisco Art. I believe it should just come out. Hopefully you stay a while, watch some videos, and comment. And I also have a Twitter account that I don't use much, but if you guys want to say hi there, I'd see that faster. But I'm usually on Instagram most of the time.
Andy, where can they find you?
Yeah, they can find me. It's pretty easy. Everything. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. Please subscribe. And on Twitter at Andy Park Art. So Andy Park Art.
There you go. So I'll have all their links down below. So make sure you do subscribe to both of them. They're phenomenal artists, and we can all learn from them. Maybe we'll be doing some collabs on their channels as well. So you don't want to miss any of that. Make sure you subscribe to their channels. Follow them on all their social media. You can follow me as well at Box Office Artist. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the like. Share this with all your friends. We learned a lot today, and I think it's something that a lot of artists could learn from. So please do share that with people who would like this sort of thing. Which is everybody. It should be everybody, right? Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best. My name is James. I am the Box Office Artist. I'm here to say keep drawing. I'll see you all next time.